always, if you could keep yourself muted, turn on your cameras, and I'm going to screen share this video. Let's see. Do you guys see that? Yeah? Okay. So let's make
talking all about puberty, the basics of puberty.
Can you hear it?
Can anyone tell me what is puberty? What's the definition of puberty? Anyone? Does anyone tell me? No? Okay, that's okay. So the definition of puberty, we're gonna get the actual definition, is when a time when a person's body, girl or boy, feelings and relationships change from a child into an adult. So when we think of puberty, we think of all of these physical changes that happen, which are the most noticeable to most people that are going through it. But it's not just physical changes. We have a lot of internal changes that are going on. And that's due to a hormonal system that starts to rev up and starts really producing these hormones that causes these changes in our body. And it's a little gland in our brains called the pituitary gland. In girls, we start to see an increase of a hormone called estrogen. And in boys, we see an increase of a hormone called testosterone. And we're going to go in and talk a little bit about what are the different changes that happen when we see a higher level of estrogen and then higher levels of testosterone. Okay, so we've gone through our definition. Okay, let's talk about some places that we may learn about puberty. So you can learn about it from your teachers, maybe your doctors, or another trusted adult, maybe school or books that you read, internet, and of course our friends. So we have to be sure that we're getting our information.
So I'm stopping this share because our presenter just popped in, and I'm going to let her go ahead and share that instead. Hello, Monique. How are you? You're muted.
There we go. Greetings. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am well, thank you.
Good. We are excited to hear from you tonight. I wasn't sure if maybe something had come up and if you weren't going to be able to join. So I just started a video just because, but I stopped it, and we are so excited to hear from you instead of watching that video. So I'm so glad that you're here with us to share, and I'm going to mute myself and turn it over to you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, hello, everyone. How are you? You're all doing good. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, we're going to have a little talk tonight. And Ms. Sandy was gracious to invite me to come on to speak with you all. And we are going to discuss something that's a little bit of a sensitive topic, but it is something that I'm sure all of you are probably experiencing at some point right now. And I'm quite sure that the information that I'll present to you this evening, you will find beneficial. So let me see. I will put a disclaimer out. I'm a little tech challenged. So I am hoping my screen share will work correctly. Let me see here. All right. Ooh. Let's see. Can I do it? Nope, I have to enlarge the screen. Okay, give me a moment. Want to launch meeting, PowerPoint. go. Share. Okay. So give me a moment. Here we go. All right. All right. So I like to call these talks when I do them Time Out with Miss Moe, because my name again is Monique Garner Weeks, and that's a mouthful. And I know it's a mouthful because I had to learn how to say my name and spell my very long name, which you'll see at the end of this presentation. So most people will call me Monique for short, or just Miss Moe, because it's just much easier to say. So we're going to talk about pubescence. Does anyone know what pubescence is? I gave it away. See, that's tech challenge for you. Pubescence is a big word in which we shorten down to, I'm sure you've heard of puberty before. How many people have heard of puberty? Okay, so pubescence is a little bit right before puberty. So it is it's a stage of adolescent growth, and it starts on average around 11 years old, and a lot of things in your body changes. So you may experience changes in your height, changes in your weight. It's pre-adolescence, and it's about 2 years prior to you beginning puberty in most instances. And that leads to physical and sexual maturity. Okay. And so puberty, once you come out of pubescence and you go into puberty, puberty is a developmental stage in which your bodily characteristics for reproduction and sexual functions reach maturity. These are the beginning stages of adolescence. So here's a little picture of Michael J. Fox going through puberty, and going through the changes that's going on, and he turns into wolf man. So that's kind of what goes on with your body when you're going through puberty. So who goes through puberty? Who do you guys think go through puberty? You can unmute yourself. I want you guys to participate in this.
Everyone.
So who do you think? Everyone goes through puberty. You're absolutely right. So there's no escaping it. If I went through it and Miss Sandy went through it, guess what? You guys got to go through it, okay? So why does the body go through this stage of development? Now, I'm going to see, because bear with me a minute. When I did my PowerPoint, it did not want to allow me to automatically put this video in. So bear with me, because I'm going to see if I can bring this video up for you guys. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Sandy, maybe you can walk me through.
Where are you trying to share it from?
Okay, it's on my desktop. It's on, and it's a little small YouTube video. So how do I Do I need to exit the full screen?
If you minimize it, you should be able to then open that and then come back to the screen of the Zoom and do the screen share and select what you had just opened.
Okay, let me see. Here we go, minimize, there we go. Here we go. All right. So let's see if this works. Can you guys still see my screen?
No, not yet.
Okay. So,
So if you've opened the video on your device, your laptop, whatever you're using, if you go back to Zoom and press share screen again, you should be able to see that video that you just opened in the options.
Okay, so exit full screen, screen share. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Here we go. I think this is it. Yeah. Here we go. Oh.
Okay, well, casters, gather around for some real talk. Today, we're going to talk about puberty. That's right, boys and girls, puberty. It's a lot like having your brain taken over by a zombie virus. Your face breaks out. You start to smell weird. You're constantly exhausted, and you grow hair in places. It may feel like you've turned into a zombie, but there's a silver lining. The exact same thing is happening to everyone around you. Today, we're doing a slightly different podcast that also happens to be a selfie. We're going to explain what's actually happening in your body and, more importantly, mind. Because right now, you're probably feeling like something else is working the gears. Today, we're taking you inside puberty. Hey, listen, what your mind and body are going through right now is definitely not nothing. In fact, it's a big freaking deal. Your brain is pumping out chemicals that affect everything from your body's shape to the way you feel. But why? Basically, your brain is trying to help the rest of you grow up. In fact, according to researchers at Michigan State University, during puberty, your brain's job is to create new cells that help you properly transition into being an adult. These cells are created in the amygdala, the part of the brain that helps you handle social situations. So, yeah, these are the kind of cells you're going to need as you're going through middle school, high school, and dealing with all the other stuff in between. The other thing your brain is doing, it's flooding your body with hormones. These are the chemicals that make you sprout hair in weird places and grow 1.5 feet in a year. It was really fun. If you're a guy, hormones make your voice crack in inopportune moments. But I'm a girl. I didn't have to deal with that. Instead, I found myself crying in terrible moments even when everything was just fine. But what does it mean? Well, I'll tell you. It means you're going to gain about 17 to 18% of your adult height. You'll gain some weight too. Don't worry, this is normal. Your limbs will elongate at alarming rates, and your feet and hands will grow. It's awful. Who wants to sign up? But you know what? Here on Wellcast, we're not going to focus on the physical aspects of puberty. Believe us, you will be well aware of it when it happens. It's impossible to miss. Oh my God. The more confusing part of dealing with puberty, though, is the emotional consequences. You might be irritable at times, have heightened anxiety, and your self-esteem might take a hit. So, how do you deal with puberty? Well, we've got a few pieces of advice to deal with this period in your life. Get it? Period? Tip 1. Don't be embarrassed to talk to someone who's gone through this. Puberty is a super confusing time, so it's helpful to vent to someone who knows exactly what you're going through. Remember, every adult has been there, some more recently than others. Tip 2. A healthy lifestyle can go a long way towards being happier. Maintain a balanced diet. Make sure you're getting all the nutrients a growing body needs. Seriously. Oh, and don't overload your already overloaded system with caffeine and stimulants. Puberty's bad, but turbo puberty, well, you use your own imagination. Tip 3. You need more sleep than you think you do. Wellcasters, Have you been noticing that you've been dragging a bit lately? Okay, well, that might be for two specific reasons. Number one, during puberty, your circadian rhythm, which dictates when you fall asleep and how long you sleep, is going to change. You're going to be more inclined to stay up later, and you might have trouble falling asleep at night. And two, you're going through puberty, so you need more sleep. Remember, you still have to get up each morning for school, so your hours of rest are going to decrease. Sleep is super important, and a good night's sleep will boost your mood and keep you from getting sick, according to some studies. It'll even help keep your weight down. Tip 4. Just keep this in mind. Puberty is the green room for the rest of your awesome life. Hey, it might suck and stink right now, but that's because change is always difficult. During this whole puberty thing, try to remember that you're not alone in this. And even though it's hard to remember at times, there is a point to all of this. You're going on a taxing journey of growing up into the person that you're going to be for the rest of your life. It will get better. Tweet us at WatchWellCat.
Okay. So, how many of you can identify with what the video spoke about? Anybody going through any of that stuff? Okay, one person? Two? Okay, everybody's going through it. So, it's an interesting time, right? How do you guys think your parents feel about it? You can unmute. We got a shy crowd. Okay, so now I go back to screen share, I think, the PowerPoint. Yay, I feel like I accomplished something here. Yay, okay. So that's what happens when your body goes through the stages of development, or the reason why the body goes through those stages of development. So when does, oh, am I doing it wrong? Yes, I'm doing it wrong again. Here we go. Sorry, guys. Here we go. I gotta get all the way back to, don't rate me on being efficient and doing PowerPoints. I'm always working on it. Okay, so here we are. When does puberty begin? So for females, it begins between the ages of 8 to 14, but on average, most females begin around 11 years old. And it's marked by the onset of menarche, which is a female's first menstruation, also known as a period for short. And puberty usually ends for a female on average around the age of 16. For males, that is between the ages of 9 to 14 on average at 12 years old. And sperm production usually begins around age 14 in a male. And puberty on average will end around age 18 for guys. Okay. And if anybody has any questions as we're going through the PowerPoint, definitely either jot them down or you can raise your hand and I'll be happy to answer them. So here's a little clip for females. You know, being the first girl in the elementary school bathroom, skipping this Friday's pool party. Congratulations on your first period. And if anybody is a fan of Harry Potter, I do believe. I think she's in Harry Potter. That's what puberty looks like for a girl. And then here we go for boys. So boys, how many people know who Luke Skywalker is? No one know. Oh, I was getting ready to say, you guys don't know who Luke Skywalker. So Luke Skywalker carries a lightsaber, does he not? So there's the joke. The Skywalker is rising, and then the little SpongeBob cartoon. Okay. So here we go. Uh-oh. What happened? Physical changes. For a female, this is a diagram of a female breast, okay? So the female breast consists of muscle and fat, then you have lobes. The nipple is on the front of the breast, and then there's a dark area. Both males and females have nipples. Both males and females have areolas, which is the dark area around the nipple. And then for females, they have ducts, and those ducts, when the female gets older and she goes into the age of family planning, that's where milk is produced for females to be able to nourish their children. So breast development for females take a period of about 4 years to develop, and it's caused by the hormone called estrogen. And females will experience tenderness in the breast area. They will notice that the size of their nipples and areola will increase. And to help with that, the young ladies should go and get fitted properly for a proper fitted bra to assist with any discomfort and support that she is going to need while she's going through this period. The body shape of a female. You get curves in various places. Your shoulders will widen, your chest and hips will widen, and your waistline, if you're lucky, will be narrow. And most females are actually pear shaped, and a pear shape has a bunch of added benefits in adulthood for females, which I will not go into for this discussion. That's a little bit more of a advanced topic, but it does have benefits if you are pear-shaped as a female in adulthood. A female will experience changes in hair. The hair will grow in the pits of the arms, on legs, and in the pubic area. Hair will be coarse and thick in texture, and the hair is more visible in those who have darker hair colors. So here's a, help me out because I can't see what you guys are seeing. Are you seeing my strip of you all in the middle of the screen? Oh, you are. Sorry. So how do I?
No, they can move the little icon boxes that you see everyone's faces in. Each person can move that on their own screen. So they should only be seeing your PowerPoint.
Okay, so it's a clear PowerPoint on the screen. Okay, because I'm seeing everybody. Okay, so this is what hair growth can look like for a female as she's going through puberty. And this is what hair growth can look like in the pubic area for a female as she is going through puberty. And this is what hair growth on her legs can look like as she's going through puberty. And as you can see, the young lady with darker colored hair, it just pops out like a sore thumb of sorts. So females also go through a slight voice change, not like boys, but they do go through a slight change in their voice as they are going through puberty. And then everybody's most favorite thing to go through puberty, acne, which affects most teenagers. It is brought on by hormones, and it usually clears up post-puberty. One way to help combat acne is good diet, proper facial cleansing, and drinking adequate amounts of water. So now we're going to get into fun stuff for females. Vaginal secretions. So vaginal secretions and discharge is what helps to keep the female's vagina cleansed. It houses good bacteria that can prevent, keyword, some infections. Okay, it doesn't prevent all infections, but it can prevent some. The good bacteria can help to prevent some infections. And as the month goes on, the female may notice that they have different amounts of vaginal secretions and discharge, or that the texture of the vaginal secretions and discharge change. And that is completely normal in most instances. Water is the only thing that is needed to cleanse the vagina. Do not use harsh soaps, perfumes, deodorant, douches, or anything like that in the vagina. And you definitely do not want to insert any foreign objects in the vagina, because that can lead to scarring, infection, and bring the pH and flora, which is the good bacteria. It'll bring it out of balance in the vagina. So you want to be careful about that. Females experience body odor during puberty. So while you're going through puberty, your body creates more sweat, and the sweat glands are effective at cooling the body and keeping the skin soft and protected from infection. And the body odor is a result of a buildup of decay, of buildup and decay of natural fats in your sweat. So that's what, when you think decay, you think stinky anyway. So that's a good reference point. General hygiene of cleansing with soap and water daily will minimize odor. And be sure to practice good hygiene if you play sports or other physical activities such as dancing and things like that. And if you're nervous, because when you're nervous, I don't know if you guys notice, but most people, when they're nervous, they sweat excessively. So you want to make sure, if you have any incident where that happens, to practice good hygiene as soon as possible. And then the next thing for females that we're going to discuss that is really prevalent in the puberty stage is what we call the menses. What is menses? Menses is a natural monthly physiological occurrence in the female body. It's where light and heavy bleeding from the vagina that follows a hormonal pattern, generally for 3 to 5 days, and it occurs every 26 to 30 days. And what it does is it prepares the body, prepares the uterus for an egg release from the ovaries, and we call that ovulation. The cycle ends with the menstruation, which is a release of a rich lining from the uterus. So if you look at the photo we have, this is a photo of a female womb. And here are your fallopian tubes, which house and hold the eggs. Um, and the eggs are located inside of your ovaries right here. And during your menstruation, here's your uterus, and it releases this lining. And when it releases this lining, it sheds and it goes down into the vaginal canal, and it comes out through the vaginal canal in the form of blood. And so that lining looks like blood. So any female that is experiencing that is not dying. There's nothing wrong with them. It's a natural occurrence that happens every month for about a good 20 to 30 years of her life. Okay. And so, let's see. Sorry. It's not uncommon for females to have irregular patterns in the beginning, so it may not come every month. It may not last 3 to 5 days. So in the very beginning, when you're beginning puberty, it's not uncommon to have irregular patterns. Later on in puberty, once your menses has been established, if you are experiencing irregular patterns, then that is something that you want to inform your parent about so that they can inform your healthcare provider and make sure that there's nothing going on. And during the menses, there may be some discomfort each month. And again, females have nothing to be ashamed about. This is something everyone goes through. And males should be sensitive to females if they see that a female may have had an accident in which her menses is showing because she may come through her clothing or what have you. It's a very embarrassing situation for a female, and it's not something that you should tease about. You should have some empathy for her because she's already, I'm quite sure, embarrassed enough. Other challenges that go on with the menses include, but aren't limited to, bloating, headache, nausea, and irritability. These symptoms are commonly called PMS, which stands for premenstrual syndrome. And to protect your clothing and your bed linens from that time of the month when your menses is upon you, you do so by using menstrual supplies such as sanitary napkins, which they have available in both disposable and reusable. And people don't say sanitary napkins very much anymore. They just simply call them pads. There's also item that can be used, which is called a menstrual cup, which takes a lot of practice to get used to. And then in some instances, some females may use tampons, and it isn't advisable to use tampons or the cup at the onset of puberty, but once you have puberty established for some time, that may be an option for you and definitely something to discuss with your parent. And as far as tampons, the only thing that I personally know of where it's suitable to use when you're young in puberty is if you are a gymnast and if you are a swimmer, a competitive swimmer, because you want to lessen your incidence of having an accident in those situations. Feelings. When females go through puberty, they have a bunch of emotional feelings, and it's quite normal. Hormones are taking over your body, and then the awareness of the physical changes that are going on in your body can result in you feeling insecure, lonely, lots of tears come, and you go through a lot of mood swings. And you just have to be patient with yourself. Remember, you're not alone. So you definitely want to speak with a parent, a teacher, a counselor, or a mentor about what it is that you're feeling. And even some of your girlfriends, because I'm quite sure if you're having those feelings, chances are they're having those feelings as well. So now we get on to the guys. What do males go through when they're experiencing puberty? They go through acne, they gain facial hair, their voices change, they have breast growth. Yes, males have breast. Okay. And they go through mood swings as well. And then they have growth in their uh, genitalia area. Okay. So physical appearance, they have weight gain, their shoulders are broadened, and there's uh, more definition to the muscular groups. There is penis and testicular growth. Oh, sorry, I need to go back. Penis and testicular growth. Okay. And so the testicles and scrotum will double in size. The penis will grow in width first, and then it will grow in length. You will have an increase in pubic hair. And then there is in some males, there's an appearance of tiny pearly bumps, which are called papules, and they may appear in that area, and it is completely normal. Okay. And this image shows, what the penis and testicular growth can look like from age about 9 to 19. Changes in hair. Facial hair begins to develop in males experiencing puberty. And so you want to learning and deciding whether or not you want to shave or let it grow becomes an important personal decision for each individual. And then males go through something called nocturnal erections. Okay, so nocturnal erections can happen for no reason at all, and it's completely normal, as well as nocturnal emissions and ejaculation, which can happen at night while you're asleep, and it's completely normal. So if you wake up at night and your penis is erect, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. If you wake up at night and there's a wet spot in the bed, that's completely normal, and it's nothing to be embarrassed about. Just clean yourself up, change your sheets, and go on back to sleep. Okay. And so the male's chest will grow and widen, and it will gain more definition the older he gets. And so that's something a lot of males take pride in as they're going through puberty. And, they want to get the weightlifting in to make it more defined and everything. So that's something that most males look forward to when they're going through puberty. And it's more, and as the chest grows, it is more evident in males who are overweight. They will see the swelling of the breast a little bit sooner than someone who is a little more slender, and there may also be a little bit as the breast tissue swell and get bigger, you may experience a little bit of breast tenderness as well, and that will subside as you go along and have puberty established. And that's one of the things that most guys dislike about puberty is their voice change. And so the male voice will change during puberty due to vocal cords and the larynx gaining mass. So as your larynx grows and becomes bigger and your vocal cords become bigger, your voice is going to change. And so that changing, you will experience some cracking, and the voice will go from low to high pitch or high pitch to low pitch, and it's completely normal. In boys or males, experience sweating, acne, and body odor as well. And those are all normal functions of the male body during puberty as it experiences a hormonal shift. Proper and daily cleansing with soap and water will keep your body in its best shape during this period. Moods and feelings. Just as females, boys experience a range of emotions during got click happy there. A range of emotions during puberty as well. Mood swings are a normal part of development. And remember to talk it out with someone you trust. And again, your peers are probably going through the same exact thing. So share and talk openly with your friends as well as any adult that you feel you can go to and speak to. And there is such a thing as early or late maturation. And the effects of early or late maturation, meaning you're going through puberty too early or you're going through puberty later than everybody else. Girls who mature early and boys who mature late have equally greater risk psychologically and social difficulties. So it's everybody goes through puberty at different times in their life. Nobody, no two people go through it at the exact same time. Studies have shown that boys do tend to go through it a little bit later than girls, and girls mature a little bit faster than boys. But with that said, there are some who mature a little bit sooner and some who mature a little bit slower and later. And if they do, in some individuals, it can have psychological and social difficulties because they may feel out of touch with their own peers because, oh, this happened to me when I'm 8 years old. No one else that is 8 years old is going through this. This wasn't supposed to happen until high school, or boys, I'm in high school and, this hasn't happened for me yet. So it does happen. And so again, being conscious of that, and when other people are speaking and letting if they're your friends or what have you, and you're having conversations and they say, well, wow, I haven't gone through this yet, instead of teasing or doing some of the things that preteens and teenagers tend to do, have an understanding that everybody arrives at different times. Okay. And that's it. So does anybody have any questions that I could possibly answer for?
That was very informative, though. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Do you guys did anybody learn anything new today that they weren't aware of? Ooh. Sorry.
You've got some head
I'll
shaking.
leave it up here. Since it's there. So who learned something new? Raise your hand. Blake, unmic yourself. What did you learn new?
That you have mood swings during puberty.
Okay, you weren't aware of that. Have you experienced mood swings yourself yet? Not yet? Okay. Well, if you feel it coming on, communicate that to your parents and or your teachers, and let them know how you're feeling, okay? So that they're aware, and they'll know, okay, he's about to go through this, and so they can prepare themselves so that there isn't a lot of tension in the house or the classroom as you're going through that. And Allie, I saw that you had your hand raised. What did you learn new?
I didn't know that.
You can unmute.
I didn't know that females' voices changed too.
Ah, yes, they do. My voice changed when I was going through puberty and was a young teenager. I don't know if you guys know the singer, but have you ever heard of Michelle A? She was she dated Dr. Dre a long time ago. I'm dating myself with that. But she used to talk like this, where it was very high pitched. That's how I used to talk. You hear my voice now, right? Much, much different, not nearly as high pitched. So yes, we do go through voice changes as we mature as well. Anybody else? I'm trying to see. Let me get to the full screen again because, okay. All right, so well, Miss Sandy, what did you learn new today?
I honestly didn't know about maturation. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very interesting to know.
Yes, yes, it is. And there's always new things to learn. And we definitely, there's more information to be learned about puberty as you get older. And I'm quite sure that there will be other opportunities for you to learn more in depth, because there is a lot of information out there. And anytime you are finding out information, be it amongst your peers or on social media, if you're on social media, be sure to talk to an adult you trust. It doesn't always have to be a parent, although it would be nice if you have that relationship where you're with your parent, where you can speak with them openly about such things. But talk to an adult that you trust to make sure that the information that you're getting is proper information. Because with proper information, it's definitely going to help you navigate puberty much easier. Okay. All right. And again, last call for any questions or anything. Okay. Well, it has been a pleasure to present for you all this evening. And again, you see that long first name I have? You guys see that? That's why I shorten it up to just Monique or Miss Moe, because it's pretty long. And I'm the only Moniqualist you will ever meet. I'm the only one on the planet. And my business is Embody Options, Perinatal Support Services. And I am here in the local Chattanooga area. And there's my contact information. So I hope you all, again, have learned something pretty valuable. Feel free to share what you learned with your family members and your peers. And I hope to see you guys again, okay?
Thank you so much. Your name is beautiful, by the way. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing with us tonight. I greatly appreciate it. And I do think that we got something, I know I did, gain something valuable tonight. I greatly appreciate it.
You are quite welcome. I had a great time presenting, and thank you again for the opportunity.
You're more than welcome. And next week, guys, we have coming up, I forget, I'm looking really quick, mental attitude. So come back next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Mr. Jeff Holst is going to talk to us about being mentally prepared for your future. So thank you all for joining us tonight, and you have a wonderful evening. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye. Sandy.
Yes.
Give me a call.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Right.